Yeah.
I don't know if I
Yeah. Okay, so you want to play it as a form of recreation exercise.
Yes.
You want to play it for social reasons and
Yeah, maybe down my road. Right now,
yeah. I was going to try and recruit you for nationals today. All right. So yeah, and I mean the reason I asked that question is I kind of need to know what your objectives, what your goals are. So Cedarburg is a great place to do that. Are you retired? You still working? You're downtown. You're still working. Okay. So the programs that you're going to be able to take with us would be mostly evening and weekend programs. Okay. So we can talk about that at some point. So today, this clinic is about just hitting forehands. So we're not trying to teach you to hit tournament level professional forehands or anything. We're just trying to get you some control on the forehand side of your body. So we're going to work with that. I've been teaching pickleball. I've been a coach for 30 years. I've been teaching pickleball for about 20 years. I know that the game is a lot easier to play when you're closer together, and it gets harder the further apart you get. So I like to start everybody in really nice and close, and then as we get better, we progress backwards. Right? It's also easier initially if you're going straight ahead, and it's a little harder to go diagonally. So we're going to start off straight ahead, and we're going to try and work back today, and that would be about as much time as we have today. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on. I'm going to give you a dot right there. I'm going to give Jolynn a dot. All right, and I'll take your ball. I'm going to be you for a moment. Okay, you stand on the sideline. We're just going to demonstrate this. So we're just going to go. I'm going to aim for her dot. She's going to aim for my dot. And neither one of us are hitting the dot, but we know approximately where the ball's going, so it makes it easier for us to predict and expect. And once we master that, then we'll be able to move on to the next progression. So just for now, I want you to just aim for her dot. She's going to aim for your dot. And exactly, when the ball starts to go wild like that, just catch it like she did. Okay. Come back to the center and reset, because we want to practice good habits, not bad habits. Chasing is not something that we want to do. Okay. If we end up chasing, just grab the ball, reset, come back to the center, and start over. Okay? All right. Okay, we're doing great. Pause, just pause for a second. Pause. Awesome. Can you just hold the ball, Jolynn? Jolynn? Okay, get you over here again, just so you can see me. So, contact, the moment at which the racket contacts the ball. It's really important in that moment to be smooth. Think of a push rather than a slap or a punch, right? So, think of it like this. If I was going to push a shopping cart, a heavy shopping cart full of groceries down an aisle, I wouldn't do this, right? I would push, right? Give it a long push. Or if I was pushing a curling stone, right? So I want you to think of the push when you're hitting the ball, right? So that we're not slapping or poking, we're giving it a push. Oh, nice job, you hit the dot. Right? So I'm trying to give it a push. Right? You see the difference? Oops, that was more of a slap, right? As often as we can, we want to give it a push. Okay. All right? Make sense? Okay. So just try and apply the concept of a push to the ball. Try and push it. Yep. Both of you. Yep. There we go. The dots are awesome until that happens. Yep. You guys are too good at this. All right, that's awesome. You guys are doing great. Throw the ball again, please. Thank you very much. I'll get you just right over here where you can actually see me from the front a little bit. Okay, so if I was going to push a shopping cart, I would push it out here, right? I wouldn't push it from back here, would I? I'd push it out here. When we're making contact, we want the contact point to be out about here, not back here. We want it to be away from our body. If it's away from our body, we can push effectively. If it's jamming us up, it's really hard for us to push effectively. So it's really important to stay back from where you're expecting the ball to bounce so that you can step forward and give it a push. So I back up. I step forward, I give it a push. I back up. I step forward, back up. You see what I'm doing? So I back up a little bit. I push forward. I back up. I push forward, back up, push forward. I'm not swinging fast. I'm swinging very slow. Giving it a push. All right, let's try that. There you go. You guys are doing great. Yeah. I love the way you guys are staying back from the ball. Stay back. Very good. Very good. Hits the dot. Good stuff. Okay, that was great. Much progress. All right, same thing. I'll get you right there. Now, this is a little fishing net. This is a little fish, right? So when Jolene hits the ball to me, I'm going to try to catch the fish in the net. So I'm trying to catch the fish in the net, and then I just give it a little push. So I'm trying to catch it in the net, give it a little push. Try to catch it in the net, give it a little push. And catch it in the net, give it a little push. You see the concept? Right? That way we keep our net below the ball. We keep our paddle below the ball before we hit it. and we can be very smooth with it. Okay, and I'll explain why that's important in a minute. That'll be the next progression. Okay, so we're going to imagine that we're catching the fish in the net, and then we just give it that smooth push. Good. Keep going with that. I'll be right back. There it is. Oh, I thought it was in here. Oh, there it is. Got my little net. All right, blow this for a second. Okay, so my little net, catch my little fish in. I wouldn't go like this to catch a fish, would I? I wouldn't swing at it, would I? I'm just gonna get the ball and get the net in front of the ball, like I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna let it fall right into my, right? So I want to keep the net out in front of me. I don't want to be starting the net back here and swinging at it. I just want to keep it out in front of me and then catch the ball in the net. So, oops, that was a great shot. There we go. So I'm keeping the ball in front of me. And now let me explain why I'm obsessing over this. All right, come on in so you can see me. You got to be close to me for this. When I drop this ball, your expectation is that it's going to go straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight up. That's what you think is going to happen, right? No? No, what's going to happen?
It's gonna get spin on it and go somewhere.
No, I'm just going to drop it straight down. It's going to jump around like a Mexican jumping bean. Watch this. See how it's jumping in different directions? Try it again. See how it jumps around? When a pickleball comes towards you, when she projects the ball towards me, it's going to bounce on the ground. It's not going to come straight at me. It's going to kick left. It's going to kick right. It's going to kick up, back. It's going to stay low. It's not a predictable pattern. So we need to keep our racket close to the ball at all times, because if it does something unexpected and our racket is far away from it, now we've got to get our racket there quickly, which results in us popping the ball up, and now the other person can kill it, right? So part of control is keeping your racket close to where the ball is bouncing so that you can get it back to the right spot. So I want to keep it close, and I want to watch that bounce really closely. I want to watch the ball bounce every time so that I can see what direction the ball is bouncing in. So we're going to dink back and forth just like we've been doing. I really want you to both watch what happens after the ball bounces. You're going to start to notice that it's not bouncing in a straight line, something you've probably never noticed before. So watch for that change of direction. You see it? So this is the main reason why people struggle to be consistent, is they're not watching what happens to the ball when it bounces. You need to expect it to change direction. You need to be watching for the direction that it's going to change in so that you can make your paddle adjustment. If your paddle is close to the ball, you're going to be able to make an adjustment easily without losing control. But if your racket's far away from the ball, you're going to have to rush your racket there, your paddle there, and you're going to end up mishitting it, overhitting it, hitting it into the net. So the number one way to be consistent is to watch the bounce of the ball. So let's spend a few minutes doing that. Oops. Good. You guys are doing great. Are you seeing the change in direction? Yeah? You seeing it?
It's funny to watch. It's true. Focus after it bounces, you do better.
Yep.
But a lot of times bouncing and we just kind of forget about it. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, you.
Yeah. So what I try and do is I try to process two things simultaneously: the sound of the bounce and the direction that it's bouncing in the visual. So the sound and the visual, I put those two together because my brain processes everything better then when I put those two things together. The sound also gives you information. Is it landing on a hole? Is it landing on a loose board? Is it landing right on a support? Is it landing somewhere between the supports? So you're going to get audio information as well as visual information that helps you figure out what's going to happen to the ball. Even when you're playing outdoors, there's cracks on the court. Sometimes there's weeds growing up in the courts. There's spots with more acrylic, spots with less acrylic, hot spots, cool spots. So the ball will behave differently. So if you need to really pay attention indoors and out to that bounce. And if you're not highly visual, you might want to add some auditory information to that as well. So. Nice. See, we're close. You're able to control that. Okay. Ball kicked up on you. All right, good stuff. Now we're ready to move on to the next topic. Let's fix our dot. Awesome. Okay, so Jolene and I are going to dink using this paddle. Okay, so I'm just using a piece of wood now. So anybody that tells you need a $300 paddle to play pickleball doesn't know what they're talking about. All right, so the reason I'm playing with this is my teaching tool for angle, paddle angle. Okay, these markers indicate the height that we want the ball to go through. So you want to imagine that there's a window here. This is the top of the window, and it goes all the way across the net to this side. We want to put all of our balls in through that window. The better you get, the higher level of pickleball that you go through, the shorter this window gets. Okay, so use this one again. We want to keep all of our balls going through that window. Right, so, oops. Couple of things to help you get through the window. One is if you want to hit it through the window, you got to be looking through the window, right? If your chin's above the window and you're trying to hit it through the window, you're going to be less consistent than if you get low. Oops. If you get low and hit it through the window, look through the window to hit through the window. Sorry, this is not a real paddle, so it's not super easy to control. Oh, anyway. Now, I want to talk about this. So, paddle angle. If my paddle is pointing at the roof, guess where the ball is going to go? It's going to go up, right? So to get it through the window, I need to be able to do this, right? See how my paddle is tipped back and I have this L shape here? I can't keep it low through that window unless I can get that paddle head back. It's really difficult for me to get the paddle back if my finger's here, because now the paddle can't get all the way back. My finger is actually blocking my paddle from getting all the way down, right? So I need to take my finger and wrap it all the way around. It's also hard to get the paddle all the way back if I'm gripping up the paddle up here. But if I drop it down to here, watch what happens. I can let go if I need to, or loosen up the top of my grip to get the paddle head really, really low so that I can keep the ball going through that window. Right? So, see how my paddle is back, my paddle head is low, right? I'm holding way up here. My finger's even coming off the bottom of the handle, right? Let's do it a little more. Oh, sorry, you hit the dot. You hit the dot and I wasn't watching. Oh. There we go. All right. So that class that you just watched before you came in, that Aisha was in, what they were working on was a speed up, which comes off of the paddle head being down, like that. You'll never have that shot in pickleball if you don't have this grip. So what I want you all both to work on right now is this grip. It's essential to learn it. And we really can't have this here.
No?
No, we need to have this all the way around the racket. So hold the racket like this. Want your fingers all the way around. If you extend this finger here, you're tightening this muscle here. Oh. You're contributing to tennis elbow.
Okie dokie.
Right? We don't want that. And we want to be able to get the paddle head all the way down. Okay. Right? So this is the new grip I want you to work on. Okay. It's going to feel funny. I'll come over and give you a hand too, Joe. Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah, that's awesome. Just hold it sideways so you could slide this down even further. Let's try that. There you go. Okay. You just push now. Yeah. It's going to feel funny at first, but it's going to make it so much easier to push. Okay. Oh, showing off. Okay, you guys know where the dots are, so we can actually get rid of the dots now. So you're going to aim for
the black thing or the white?
Aim for the white line here, where it intersects with the green and the blue line. That's the spot you're aiming for. Okay, you'll get there. Very good. You're both putting it all together. This is really impressive. Don't forget to watch that bounce. How does that feel? Yeah? Feel better?
Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, I feel like I'm not popping as much for sure.
For sure. And does it feel like you have more control? You're keeping it. Yeah. Okay, we're going to have a water break, bathroom break, whatever we need, and a little conversation out in the lobby. And then we'll come back and we'll do the second part. Yeah, you can leave everything here. We're good. All right, so any questions about pickleball? Any topic? Any question?
My biggest thing is I wanted to stop popping. Like, so that's why the forehand. And eventually I want to do that.
Okay, awesome. So the way you were holding your grip is making it very difficult for you to hit backhands.
Yeah.
But the way that we've just adjusted your grip, now you'll be able to transition between forehand and backhand. So that was an important first step. We need to do that. The reason you were popping probably, and I've never actually watched you play, was you were taking the ball way too close to your body. Now you're staying back from the ball, right? You're creating space. You've got a better grip. You're keeping your paddle face down, so you're going to be way less likely to pop a ball. Where you get in trouble in pickleball is when people hit the ball right into your feet, really close to your feet, because that's when you're going to pop it up. Right.
So then when they tell you to run up to the pickle line, like then should you not be right at the pickle line, like be back a little bit then?
So you're confusing your relationship to the bounce of the ball with your relationship tactically on the court, right? So I can be at the pickleball at the kitchen line, right? I can be right on it or a stride back from it. But when the ball comes over the net, I need to adjust to where the ball is going to bounce, right? I'm not going to necessarily stand there and stay there and reach for every ball. I'm going to adjust, right? So today we're working on ground strokes, strokes where the ball is going to bounce on the ground. We're starting at the kitchen just because it's easier for us to control the ball there. But now in the second half hour, we're going to start to back up so it looks more like ground strokes.
Right, because you can always run up. It's hard to run back.
Yeah, it's easier to move forward than it is to run back. Yeah. So you want to create space. If the ball is going to bounce, right, if you decided I'm going to hit this as a ground stroke, you want to stay back from the ball so that when you hit it, you can move forward, right? And you want your weight going forward anyway. You don't want to be in a situation where your weight's going this way and you're having to hit the ball that way, because now control becomes very difficult and popping becomes probable. Okay? All right, so we're going to work on, did you have any other pickleball questions?
Just one. My husband tells me every once in a while when I can't get it from my backhand, like over here like this, I switch hands with the paddle. Is that bad?
Yes and no. If it works out for you, it's an awesome shot. But if that's your only way of returning those shots, you'll never have a backhand.
Okay.
Right? So you want to learn how to hit a backhand so you don't have to do that. But that doesn't mean you can never do that. Pro players will do that sometimes.
Okay.
If they have and they hit excellent backhands. But if they get caught wrong-footed, and that's their only option, they'll do that. That's what we call, making things happen, being creative, right? Because sometimes you have to be creative. But you don't want it to become a crutch. You don't want it to become your only way of hitting. You'd rather have a backhand, right? Then some people can only do that. They don't have a backhand. That really limits your development as a pickleball player. But you'll see people in tournaments doing that.
Yeah, for a few people that we play with do it, and I never thought I'd do it, and then one day it worked.
Yeah.
But now that I'm adjusting the grip, then maybe.
Yeah, well, you'll take a backhand lesson too, so we'll get there. All right, so we're gonna. I forgot something. I'll be right back. Gotta grab another tool. All right, now we're going to back up a little further. Now that we've learned the basics of control, everything that I taught you applies at this distance as well, right? We're just going to be a little further apart trying to do it now. So you're going to try and knock down my tower. I'm going to try and knock down your tower. Right? So, same principle. You want to be back from the ball, right? You want to push. You want to go through the window. You want to look through the window. Everything we talked about. Watch the bounce, all of that stuff. So we're just going to try and do it from further back now. Right? So go ahead and do that with Joe. Very close. All right. So I'd rather you not go in front of your cones. I'm okay with letting it bounce twice or even 3 times. If you go in front of your cones, then you have to back up. Somebody could end up tripping over their cones. So we're okay to let it bounce twice, right? So don't worry about that. Try and stay behind the cones, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's good. That counts too. Oh, Joe, so close. Good catch. Good. Reset. Practice good habits. I like that. Yeah, look at that. She just likes making you pick up your cones. Oh, there we go. Revenge. Revenge. Hey, there we are. Revenge. Okay. So what happened there was when the ball bounced, it kicked out to the side. You probably weren't tracking it. Oh, so close. There it is. Look at that. From a near miss to a dead on hit. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I'll get you to pause for a second. So, you guys have made a small adjustment since our break. Both of you are really getting good contact from your shoulder now. So you're not aware of it, but because you're watching the ball and you're getting behind the ball to push it, both of you are doing an excellent job of aligning because you push from your shoulder, right? You're not pushing from your arm out here, you're pushing, right? And now you're both pushing and you're organizing your bodies around that push. And because you're doing that, you're naturally starting to turn a little bit sideways on some of your shots, which is great to see. Okay. Okay. So a little more difficult to hit at this distance, isn't it? I'm going to show you what 12 inches difference makes. I'm going to move this back. Well, it'd be 24 inches. I'm going to move this one back 12 inches, and we're going to pull that one back 12 inches. Good. Okay, now try it. So we're just 24 inches further apart, and it's going to be noticeably more difficult to hit these cones. Yep. Okay, you'll adjust. feel how much more difficult it is? Oh, well done. Well done. There you go, Joe. Oh, there we go. You guys are finding the range? Very close. Very close. Just pause, pause. Okay, the primary thing that's changed, all I did was move the cones back 24 inches. You know what's changed? You guys are not hitting the ball through the window anymore. You're hitting it high now. So the ball is coming down steeper and you actually has less of a chance, right, to hit the cones. Now what happens in pickleball when we start hitting balls up here?
Yep.
Right? So the further back we get, can we take the ball, please? Yeah. The further back we get, the more important it is to stay low and look through the window to control these shots. We're still pushing. We're just pushing longer, right? We're not hitting harder. We're just not appreciably harder. We're not slapping. We're just pushing further, right? So we want to still get that push, right? Right? So what happens is you back up, people start thinking, well, I got to hit harder to get it to go further. You really don't. You're just pushing further. Think of it as pushing the heavy cart a little further, right? So you still want to keep it low. You still want to get low to look through the window, push it through the window, focus on that push motion, and control will take care of itself. Okay? So now think of that while you're trying to hit these cones. It'll take a while. Nice. She's really good at serving, eh? There we go. So you're really figuring out how important it is to be back from the bounce, aren't you? Big difference. Oh, look at this. Okay, let's just hang on a second. We're going to set these up, but we're going to set them up in the other, or actually, we'll set these up here. Joe, we're going to slide yours over to that other court because you guys are both right-handed. Oh, we're going to go back. Yeah, just the same distance, about 12 inches back from the red line. There you go. Okay, now we're going to try it diagonally. Wait a minute, you're playing with your left hand. I'm sorry, I forgot. I was thinking you were right-handed, but you're playing with your left hand. So I've got to make an adjustment here. Okay, there we are. I forgot you were playing with your left hand. Okay, let's try this. Same thing. Now we're just doing it from an angle. Okay. Very good. I'm impressed with how many of your shots are going through the windows. That's awesome. Get low. Yeah. Look through the window to hit through the window. So now I need to make you aware of, we move the cones diagonally. Even though they're the same distance behind the red line, they're now further apart than they were when we were straight on, right? That's a bigger distance. So now we're hitting about another 40 inches or so further than we were. So it got harder when we switched angle, right? So the further back we get, the more important it is to focus on pushing that ball through the window, right? We don't want height, because height makes it more difficult. We want to push it. If you put height on it, you're increasing the distance again, right? So being consistent through here helps you figure out a consistent stroke, right? Because you're keeping the distance the same, if that makes sense. Okay? Oh, look at that. Now you're just showing off. There you go, Spring. Oh, good, good, good job. Oh, well done! Very nice. That was a very nice stroke. Oh, very good. I got this. So I have one concern, Spring.
Yep.
So You're being very stiff-armed
Yeah.
right now. Remember, if you're pushing, how would you push, right? If you were going to push a shopping cart, right, you'd push from the shoulders out in front of you. So if the arm's straight, you're not going to be able to push, right? Now you're hitting on an arc. Remember to push like you're pushing from your shoulder, right?
Okay.
So just keep some of that in mind. I can't believe how well you've adjusted to left-handedness. All right, let's take a break. We'll pick up the cones. We're going to take a little water break. Get our heart rates down. That's hard work, isn't it? We're going to take a break to get our heart rates down, and then we'll come back in and we'll try and play some games. So.
Yeah, I had water dripping out from the gazebo. I was like, just the one spot.
While we're getting our heart rate down, let's talk about pickleball. Any questions? About anything pickleball related?
I think I already asked mine.
Okay. Where did you say you were playing again?
I live in Bonavista Downs,
Okay.
so every Tuesday and Thursday we play outdoor.
On
In the community tennis courts.
at the city courts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And how many people in your group?
Oh, it could be anywhere from, depending on how many people show up, but it could be anywhere from 6 to 10, 12.
Okay, that's a good group.
Yeah.
And do you play in the winter as well, or just in the
I
summer?
just started in June.
Oh, yeah, that's right too.
Yeah.
So are you planning to play this winter? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My only fear is though is because I know I guess there's one over in Queensland. Their community center that they have.
In Queensland, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and some of the people think it'd be like I've been playing for years and years can be quite
Clicky?
I guess it's not. I don't know if it's so much, but like some people showed up, I guess, and that we've never played there, and some people are like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Like,
yeah, that happens in pickleball. So.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it happens in tennis and squash and racquetball, and it happens in sports. Period.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big sport. Like I usually feel like I play golf.
Yeah.
So I don't play a lot of.
Golf is very controlled because there's a tee time you book. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So I don't like it when I'm not good with people that get.
So you may want to play in an organized program like we have here, or one of the other centers, because when it's organized, you get less of that. Like our weekend program is leveled. So if you were in one of our weekend programs, you would be in a program with everybody who's at your level. So there's not going to be anybody there who can beat up on you. There's not going to be somebody there who's not good enough to play with you, right? That's what you. So the program that you're playing with is just kind of anybody shows up, anything goes.
Yeah. So there's like one guy that's like really good, and then there's
Yeah.
there's two 75-year-old ladies that play too. So I think I'm the youngest.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's up to you what you do, but just keep that in mind that there are other options out there.
Okay.
You can get highly organized at the pickleball centers. Like
right, but then we have to go north.
Yeah.
Right.
If you live close to here, we'd love to have you here.
Yeah,
it's
we're
an option.
Bonavista, so.
Yeah. Very close. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, you'd be welcome here, and you can talk to Aisha. She knows all about our program.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you already have her number and stuff.
Yeah, I was just talking to her just 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, then my husband, so then would my husband have to get evaluated to figure out which level to go into?
So the way our rating system works is you play games against other players, and we determine what your rating is. So it's just a number from an algorithm, and then you play with other people who have that same number or similar to that number. So you and your husband might be playing together, or you might be playing apart. We also have rec drop-in programs which aren't rated. You self-declare your level. So, but those are during the day, during the week.
Oh,
And do you guys both work? Yeah. So you probably want to be in our rated programs on the weekend.
okay.
So now you and your husband may be very similar levels. He's better than you?
But it was kind of something we wanted to do together.
Okay. Then you're going to have to continue doing like the Queensland thing. You're going to be looking for open drop-ins then,
Right.
if playing together is your priority. Yeah. So anyway, those are good questions because that's the kind of stuff I can answer. Help you start to figure out.
Yeah, maybe we'll try it out and see. Yeah. Maybe we are the same. I don't think so. I don't know.
That's what a rating tells you.
Yeah.
Right. So our goal here is to create 2 programs for everybody. So we want to create with our rated programs. We want everybody to have a level that they can really shine at, and another level that they'll be challenged by. So you can shine at if you just don't feel like struggling. You don't want to be pushed, right? You can go sign up for the group that you shine with. If you're in the mood to be challenged, you can sign up for the group that you want to be challenged with. If you want to do both on the same day, you can do both on the same day, right? It's because some players are really trying to progress, so it's really important to them to have a level that'll challenge them. Some players just want to play recreationally, socially. They just want to have fun, so they can do that. They can just forget about the challenge level or the struggle level.
Yeah, I definitely do want to get better at it, but I would like to shine.
Exactly, and that's our goal: is to create opportunities for you to do both.
Okay.
So, because some days you're just not in the mood to get your ass kicked.
Right.
Okay, how's your heart rate doing? Is it okay? You ready to go back in? Okay. So we're going to play a game called 3 Cones. Guess how many cones there are in 3 cones? How many? There's 6. Right. It was a trick question. Okay, so I'm just going to borrow your paddle for a moment. I'll just get you over there. So if Joe and I were playing 3 cones, my job is to try and hit her 3 cones. She's going to try and hit my 3 cones. And the first person to take the other person's cones out. So if I overshoot the cones, oh, you almost got that one. If I overshoot the cones, I'm not going to be able to hit them, right? If I overshoot them, if I come in at too high of an angle, I'm not going to have a very good chance of hitting them either, right? So I want to keep it through the window, and I want to try not to hit. I want to try not to hit past the cones. All right, there you go. You guys understand what I'm talking about. All right. So as soon as you hit somebody else's cone, we stop, we remove that cone, and then we start again. And you can't hit it on the serve. You can't hit a cone on the serve. Has to be a ground stroke. There's one. Eight cones. Wall of cones. Remember to watch the bounce. Oh, there's two. You got to catch up. You got to catch up. There it is. There's one. Oops, sorry. Sorry, Joe. Oh, there it is. Well done. Okay, now we're going to play 3 cones. Well, you're still left-handed, right? Okay, so we're going to do this. Oh, no, you're left-handed. Yes. Okay, there we go. Same as a badminton court, outside badminton lines. Oh, so the outside green lines.
Green lines?
Yeah, outside green lines. All right, yours are too close together. I messed up. Let me fix this. Yeah, they're too close together. Here we go. All right, try that. There's one. 1-0 lead. Left-handed. I saw that. Ah, I knew it was coming eventually. You were all around that thing. Two. You're really targeting that cone spring. You're just all around it. Very close, Joe. I got it. How are you guys doing? Good. How have you been? Good.
My ribs are healed.
That's good.
My foot is healed.
Nice. What was, I remember you had a foot injury, but I don't remember what it was.
I actually snapped a piece of bone off and tore the small ligament on my foot.
Wow, and it's better already?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did 6 pieces and it was 6 pieces.
Okay.
I just taped it though. I still tape it just for protection.
For sport, yeah.
But it was funny because when I was training the dog 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago, it happened on this.
Oh no.
She bowled me over like a football player, and I went over, rolled my ankle, went over. Same hole, right just on the very side.
Yeah.
Cuboid? I don't know what it's called, but I know it's a small ligament that goes across your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have matching feet. See? That's a girl's thing.
But they're repaired, matching repaired feet, so perfect. Renovations. I'm good. Lots of teaching. So my Saturdays are really long, which makes my Sundays tiring. I gotta go back to my lesson, so. Did you really? Really? Okay, so how are we feeling? I know this is a lot of hitting. How are we feeling? Do you guys want to go? Do you want to play another 10 minutes of this stuff? Okay. I got to ask, because anybody who's not used to doing 90-minute lessons, 90 minutes can be a lot. So I would suggest that we do the same thing now, but we do it from further back. Want to try three cones from further back? You're going to have to cover a lot more space. It's going to be tiring. Yep. All right. There we go. Good job. Remember, accuracy comes from putting it through the window. So you got to do a little extra work to get it through the window, but it will pay off with accuracy long run. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Is that insulin?
Oh, it is.
It is, huh? Are you diabetic? Pre-diabetic?
Diabetic.
Diabetic? That's good for me to know as a coach,
Okay.
right? In case you run into issues,
Yep.
right? It's important for me to know who's diabetic and who's not. I am as well, so
Oh, yeah.
I don't wear a monitor. I don't have to anymore because I do everything through just diet and exercise now.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
you insulin?
yeah, I had to take type 2, but I had to take insulin for about 3 months or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like 25, I think.
Okay. I was 27.
Yeah. Crazy high, dangerously high.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were dying and we didn't know it.
No.
Yeah,
No.
literally dying. All right, so are there 4 people here yet? There are.
They're all.
So you guys can just get started if you want. Go out and get warm up. Start your game whenever you want because that court's open. Sorry?
Question for you.
Yep.
So we signed up for those leagues and you said that it was okay for us to play at Wood Creek
Against you?
on Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay, because we're not members.
Yep.
And then we've got Binu.
Yep.
So he's playing at 8:30 on Friday and he really wants us to play there afterwards, and I don't know if it's okay to say yes or like.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm prepared to risk it because I know all those people over there and they're not going to give me a hard time. I don't know if they'll give Vino a hard time or not.
We'll maybe just say no to that for now. We weren't going to get a membership for 1 month.
No.
No, well, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's completely reasonable. I know for a fact, given the time that we're going to be there, that nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's even going to know what happened. Probably the same thing with you guys in Vino as well.
Yeah.
But I can't promise that. So I'm prepared to risk it.
Okay.
Roll the dice.
Okay.
And you guys will throw your cards up here, right? You did already? Okay, awesome. And you can take Alec and Joan out and start warming up and if you want. And when you're ready, just play your first game and then come and tell me the score. Yep. Spring's got the lead. I told you this would be harder. It's a lot harder. Oh, hand switch. 2 forehands. There we go. Now you've got a lot of ground to cover because you got to protect 3 cones. She's only got to stand in one spot. That was a good shot. Good job. Keeping it nice and low. Oh, so close. So close. Oh. Oh. So close. Okay, 2 more points, and then we'll have to do our wrap up. What's that? Okay, well that's good. Let's pick them up. Pick up the cones. So everything gets harder when you get tired, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's harder when you get tired. What's that?
Yeah.
A little warmer. Okay, so today we worked on hitting proper forehands, trying to learn to hit with consistency. I mean, the things that there's lots of things that I talked about, but primarily we want to get the ball out in front of us. We want to keep the paddle close to where the ball is bouncing. We want to watch that bounce. We want to get low and try and keep the ball going through the window. And that's where consistency comes from. Beyond that, we can start to add spin to the ball. We can start to hit it harder from further back. But there's no point in starting at the baseline and working your way in because you'll never get accurate if you start that far back. You can see how much more difficult it gets the further we get away from the net, right? So I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you learned something. And good. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions about what we did today?
No, I think I gotta tape my finger down.
Give yourself time. You just learned it today, so.
And then the lessons, if you sign up for a lesson, like if not the clinical lesson,
yeah.
Where should I?
Well, a clinic is a lesson. So we have lessons in practice. Clinics are lessons.
Okay.
Practices are also lessons, but practices are for members, right? So if you're a member here, so you paid $25 for this lesson. If you're a member here, the lessons cost you $16.
Oh.
Right? So the membership costs you less than $15 for the membership because it's prorated on the year, and the pickleball ball fee, which is another $25. So it's going to cost you less than $40 for a membership. If you're going to take 4 lessons, you'll get it all back.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it's worth it to become a member. Okay. And then you get more access to more different times because you're not able to just take lessons. You can also come to practices.
You have to have your email registered or something, and then you send something.
Yeah, some lessons are rated, so they're protected by rating. Okay. Right? So, but you can still sign up as a non-rated member, but you got to pay the full $25. Okay. So anyway, my advice is if you're planning to take multiple lessons here, get a membership because you get it all back.
Oh, okay.
So that would be my advice. Okay. All right. Any other questions? She's the program director here.
Oh, are you?
So she works here.
No, I'm definitely taking more lessons. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
I enjoyed you.
Good. Thank you very much. And I'm sure I'll see you around. All right. You have a great day, Spring. Thanks for coming today. Really appreciate it.